Hello everyone! How are you doing? Today is the final epilogue part of the Lantern Rite event, and we've had a lot of fun celebrating with everyone. We met Gaming and helped him with resolving some of his issues that he had with his dad, and they were able to spend Lantern Rite together, which was good. We created a beautiful kite with the help of Cloud Retainer and friends, although Cloud Retainer herself kind of won the competition without a doubt. And now, the last thing we're here to do, I believe, is we are going to meet some of our very special friends from afar who are also here to celebrate Lantern Rite with us. I am super excited. So we finished the main part of the story, we finished all the event gameplay. Now it's just time to check in on others and see. What is this? Okay. 2 days later? 1 day later? I don't know. See what they're up to. Because yes, we love to share the joy of the festivities with everyone, and I always love to see our friends from different nations getting to meet each other. Getting to bring all these people together is a joy indeed. And this is not 2 days later. Oh look, he's giving us a performance right now. Lovely. Thank you so much, Gaming. Alright. Here we go. Let's just do it again. Let 1 day pass. Because now that we have Chunyu Vale and Yilong Wharf, we have this direct connection between Liyue and Fontaine. And hopefully some of our Fontanian friends will be able to make their way here.
Didn't Zhongli say Hu Tao was also planning on spending some time in Xiaoying Village?
He did.
We didn't have anything else to do today, right? Why don't we go have a look around? Maybe we'll run into her.
Maybe. We just might. What is our friend Hu Tao up to these days? Recruiting more and more clients, I assume? Wow, look how beautiful the village is.
The mountain air is so refreshing. It makes Paimon
Doggo!
feel like you could float
Hello,
around
Doggo.
all day and never get tired.
I'm actually curious whether Paimon floating around does actually exert a lot of energy for her or not, or if she's just kind of joking around.
Cream! Gummies! Fuel fruit!
Okay,
Did you
food.
hear that? Sunshine! Blue skies! Good vibes!
I heard it too. Something about blue fruit and good vibes.
So Paimon wasn't just hearing things.
I suppose
That
not.
voice sounds really familiar. Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go check it out?
Okay, let's go see what's up. You and Paimon make your way up the mountain in search of the source of the shouting. As far as you can make out, it's almonds this and cocoa paste that. Sounds delicious, that's for sure. The lively voice invigorates your steps and you ascend the mountain in no time. Okay, where exactly? Hello!
Here! Navia, Clarande!
Hello! What are you guys doing here?
Isn't my dear partners? See, I told you that something good was going to happen during our travels today. I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just
Is
your
it
lucky
now?
day.
I'm
Are
sure
you guys
they
also
get it
here to
right
catch the
sometimes.
festivities? Oh, and that reminds me. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite!
Lantern Rite.
And to you.
Happy Lantern Rite to you, too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Rite, then what are you doing on top of this deserted mountain?
Yeah.
And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Yeah, what is
Oh,
happening
impressive.
right now?
You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ears.
That or your voice is just really loud.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed.
Fair point.
I suppose it's an asset.
She can project her voice so everyone can hear and hear her confidence.
Wait.
You can see the tea leaves drying up there in the roof.
Paimon just wants to know why you two were shouting from the top of
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps, but the act of shouting was very meaningful indeed.
Okay.
That's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery, it's not easy to resist the urge to release those emotions.
I see. So it's more like when you're in this this big mountain range, and then if you shout and it echoes across the entire mountain range, that's what you're doing. So it's not what you were shouting that matters, but the act of shouting itself.
Exactly. You get me, partner.
That makes a
I was
lot of
afraid
sense.
that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. Apparently, most hikers like to shout when
Okay,
they
as
get
long
to
as
the
you're
top,
not disturbing
so the
them too
locals are
much, then
used
it's
to it
all
by
good.
now. So, you see, it's not just me. I guess everyone shouts from the top of a mountain at some point in their life.
We should try that next
Speak
time
for
on.
yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something for no reason?
Not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
Yeah.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Are we talking
Anyway, why
like
don't you two give it a try?
food
Shout
or
anything
treasure
you want.
hoarders
It's a
or
real
what?
stress reliever.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
And I prefer to keep things bottled up. Well, I don't agree with that personally, Ether. However, I have in fact seen that Ether does this a lot. He is just a blank slate, except for the few times he's gotten super, super angry. Like what? Like when Tepe died? Or, what else? Ether does keep it bottled up. And that's why whenever he does get emotional, it's a really big deal. I think I'm the opposite. You probably see. I just wear my heart on my sleeve because why not?
Aw, I bet you guys are
Helps
just
to
too
relieve,
embarrassed to let loose.
Stress
No
more.
need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
I'm sorry. Who?
Huh? Did Paimon hear that right? Farina's also here? In Chaoyang Village?
Believe in your ears. It is indeed as you heard.
Well, that's great.
Actually, the reason we climbed this mountain in the first place was also because we heard the sound of shouting.
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?"
Those sound more like what
Check it out.
we'd expect to
What
hear
do you
people
know?
shouting.
Miss Farina was standing right there, all red in the face. She practically sprinted back down the mountain the minute she saw us.
Ah, that reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
Oh,
So
that makes a
you
lot more
could
sense.
actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
Well, that's good.
I figured we would
It's
come
good
check out
to
the
hear that
situation at
Farina
the
is still
Why not
working
let her
in
keep
her
some
film
privacy?
industry work.
Oh, seems like you caught Farina
I'm
in
glad
the
that
middle
she
of
is
some
able to
stress
still
relief
do
as
that
well.
and enjoy it now.
She probably would have never thought. No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out here.
Well, let's be fair. The thing about this particular mountain is it's right next to a village full of people, so people will hear you shouting. But there's plenty of other mountains where they're close, not as close to populated areas, where you could probably shout as loud as you want and no one will hear. But then it will also be harder to go back into town. Was she alone?
I think so. We ran into Neverlet on the way here as well, but he was already on his
Neverlet?
way back, so they probably
Shouldn't
weren't together.
Neverlet be super busy now that he's the Chief Justice and like the...
Neverlet was here too.
He's the Chief Justice and he's sort of taken on Archon-like roles in Fontaine, and he's this all-powerful being that is stronger than any of the Archons, so much so that he could use his power to heal the people of Fontaine and turn them into humans. I feel like he has a lot on his plate. But you know what? As good friends, I'm happy to see that despite how busy he theoretically should be, he's still taking time to go travel, take a break, see the sights, self-care. I think it's really good that we see Neuvillette doing that. Because otherwise, I think he was super busy and has no time for it. And therefore, that would also make me even more worried. So many people from Fontaine.
What was he doing here? It couldn't have been for vacation.
Well, he
It
probably...
just might have been, actually.
Yeah, I think he was probably out here on
Apparently, he
vacation.
only stayed
But
for half a day before
maybe
heading back.
still
very
will
busy man.
try to make some sort of business
Neuvillette is
trip
not
out
the
of
type
it
take much
to
time
make it
off.
worthwhile as
Taking
well.
even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't
I
Charlotte
agree.
publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article. You know, just like you were.
My
situation is completely different.
I love
I'm
tea.
here because I
No,
was asked to
Neuvillette
accompany
could
you.
just have been here to
The
drink
tea
the water.
purchase is simply an added
And
bonus
fresh
of this
spring water.
location.
I'm sure he's
You
into that.
Fontanians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something.
Okay, well, he loves tea, so it seems like a fitting
It was
gift.
just a spur-of-the-moment sort of bet.
Uh-huh.
Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing, but he couldn't care less about what he wins in the end.
Just
You
as
could give
long
him
as
mint
he
plants that you plucked from the side of the road,
wins.
and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Neuvillette even mentioned it earlier.
Sunglo tea. Buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Yes, that's the one.
Just like with Cloud Retainer.
Really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Right? Well, you can give some to Risley and
Do I look
And
like someone
keep
who would
some for
fall that
yourself.
sort of marketing trap?
That reminds me. You guys said you only came up here because you heard my voice, right? I hope it didn't put you out.
Right, and that's why Cloud Retainer had too much tea
Oh, that's right.
before.
A few days ago, we heard that a friend was going to be in Chaoying Village. So we decided to come and see if we could run into her.
But looks like we ran into different friends,
Dear,
which is
we've been
the
chatting
more
for
the
quite
merrier.
some time. I'm sorry for keeping you.
No worries. Like I said, the more the merrier. No harm done, partner.
That's good.
We should probably head out and look for Hu Tao.
Yeah.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay around for a little longer.
Yeah, enjoy the view. I love it here because it's so
We can
beautiful.
meet up in Chaoying Village later.
Sounds reasonable to me.
That's good. We're gonna head down the mountain then. See you later.
See you later. It is very beautiful here, so I would enjoy the view here too.
What do I have to do to get you to yell from the top of this mountain? Name your price.
Clarend is
You
very
really wanna
reserved
hear
and
it
quiet.
that bad, huh?
I'm
just
not
curious is
sure.
all. I have a feeling you'll say something amazing.
I will pass. I prefer to let
Fair
actions
enough,
speak
fair enough.
louder than words.
Go to the village beneath the mountain. Goming is home now. I see friends. Hello. Hello, friends. So many friends together.
Chaoying Village is known for its tea. But you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum!
Yeah.
Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the morning? Oh, Paimon wonders if we can still get some at this time of day.
You can probably get some for lunch too. Lunch is still early enough. Afternoon tea might be more appropriate at this point. True.
Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some tasty snacks.
Different sorts of tea
What
cultures
kind
here.
of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Farina standing between Zhongli and Hu Tao?
Judging based on the hat, I'd say so. I mean, Zhongli knows who. I mean, everybody knows who Farina is. But also, like, we know that we've seen from in the profile lines that the Archons have for Farina. They really respect her for what she did to help Fontaine and the sacrifices she made as a human who had to play the acting role of a god. They very much respect her for her work, so I'm curious to see how this interaction between Farina and one of the Archons goes.
I wonder what they're talking about.
Well, I'm sure they won't mind if we are nosy.
About Tiny Village. Oh, or maybe Hu Tao is trying to rope Farina into being one of her clients.
Well, why not both?
Hey, this isn't the Fortress of Meropide. But Paimon could be convinced for the right price. Let's say loser buys the winner 3 huge bowls of seafood kanji.
Yummy. Let's do it.
Paimon bets things are pretty tame. It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli.
Then I vote for Hustler Hu Tao.
All right,
Fair
no time
enough,
to
fair
waste.
enough.
Let's go see
Let's
his
see. I think there could be elements of both. Beautiful water. I'm sure Neuvillette was drinking some water earlier. Hello! Our friends!
Paimon shouting too.
But not from the mountain.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Oh, Zhongli, we saw you yesterday.
So both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then?
I have keenly felt the passage of time since our last meeting. So many chums and all in one place.
I'm pretty sure you didn't learn that one from me.
No.
I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler.
Well,
But
we're
seeing As
everywhere.
you're a hero who's been all over to that, it makes sense that you would be well-traveled and well-connected. Since we have found ourselves in each other's company within this fertile land, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite. Are you on vacation? I hope you, or are you working on a film? She could be doing both. But I'm happy to see you out and about and not trapped in a castle without really the freedom to do what you want. I hope you are taking this time to just enjoy the fresh air and the yummy tea of Xiaoying Village and just the good vibes.
It appears you have been to Fontaine then.
Yeah, we might have been there.
Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Farina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration.
Well, I think
There is
you've come to the
definitely
right
more
place
to
then.
Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his
Well,
breadth of
everybody
knowledge on
gets
both
that vibe.
academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine.
No way,
Is he
indeed.
just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You're no common tourist. I simply
Well,
won't
we all
have
know
you talk
Farina
about
is
yourself that
pretty
way.
smart too.
Does that mean Hu Tao also knows?
They get the news in
You may not
Leona
have
too.
heard, friend,
Charlotte literally came over, so I'm sure that they print the
Tao.
Steambird here too.
Miss Farina is now one of my esteemed clients. Yep.
One of us. Well, so are we. We are all Miss Hu Tao's esteemed clients. Did you hear that, Paimon? She's Hu Tao's esteemed client.
Okay, you win.
That's right, Hustler Hu Tao.
Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
What?
What's this about winning something?
Oh, it's
Don't tell me
nothing.
You two were placing bets on us.
Oh, it was Paimon's idea. It was Paimon's idea. Literally points finger. Uh-huh.
Just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help but take guesses as to what you were talking about.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was trying to promote my business to Miss Farina.
Well, look, that's how you introduced yourself to us. So I would be not surprised if that was also how you introduce yourself to other people. You know me,
That I do, my friend.
and we know you.
Paimon's guess then.
Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also correct.
See, I told you. Why not both? Why not
Zhongli
both?
was telling me about some great sightseeing.
They could
spots
easily
in
be doing
India.
both at the same time.
You see? Paimon was right too.
I guess we just have to buy each other lunch then.
Both of our guesses were right. There can't be a winner or a loser.
Fine, keep your secret stash then.
Hey, don't be upset, traveler.
We're gonna buy each other lunch still. Let's go have some dim sum.
You buy Paimon a bowl, and Paimon will also buy you a
There you go, see? Working together.
As for the third bowl,
We'll split it. You know, you'll get a share bowl,
Perhaps
and
I
then
should
you
nominate.
pour some into the share bowl.
Congratulations for the huge deal I just struck.
You know, I'll buy you a bowl anytime you want.
I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum after all.
What do you mean by that?
Paimon almost forgot to ask about the
What do you mean by that? Are you expecting one of us to die?
recently, Farina?
Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean, Paimon?
Well, you know, with you enlisting the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor and all.
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh no.
Well,
Paimon is
probably.
so sorry for your loss. Paimon may have not known the person. Please accept Paimon's deepest.
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Do explain.
Huh? But Paimon just thought, since you hired the services of a funeral parlor and all. Hey, it's not that big of a stretch.
It's a fair assumption. However, just let her finish
It's not like you
talking.
don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral?
I don't know. You know a lot of people.
Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my
Yeah,
film.
I figured it's more
Not
like
too long
that.
ago,
I mean, we already
I
know
wrote a
she's here
collection of
doing
horror stories from
film
Liyue.
business,
The
so
content was spectacular. In fact, I still feel the need to sleep with the light on even now. Anyway, that's not the point.
it's
Now
okay.
that Fontaine's
Scary.
biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air.
What is this pun? You might even call it a breath of fresh tear. Tear? Tear. What's... Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air. I don't get the pun. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'm sorry. I don't get the pun.
My ad poster.
What does that mean? It's gone completely over my head, and I'm gonna watch this back later and be like, oh, that was so silly. Of course it was this thing, and I don't know.
Not exactly. My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights. But then I ran into Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli.
Well, once
and,
again,
well,
I'm
you know
happy
the
you
rest.
have the opportunity
suppose
to
it was meant
relax
to
now.
be.
It was a fated
I hope you
meeting
spend
indeed.
this whole year,
Zhongli
she's spending this
sure
whole
loves
year
his
rejuvenating
lofty turns of phrase.
a
But
passion
if you
for
ask me,
her
it's all
work,
thanks to that man who
a
stopped
new
to ask for
career,
directions.
Who was it?
and, you know,
It's
just
someone
taking
you
time for
know.
herself.
Wanna take a guess?
Let me think. It was Neuvillette, wasn't
What?
it?
How did you guess that on your first try?
Well, Navia said
Very
even.
impressive, my friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
You tell everyone about your encounter with Navia and Clorand at the top of the mountain. One look at the pitiful expression of Farina's face is enough to convince you to leave out the part about the shouting. Good.
Thought
Let us
Neuvillette
not
even had to
embarrass
get lost.
her any further.
I'm sure he didn't get lost.
She's done
Even
enough
I
having
was
to
able to
pretend
find my
everything
way
is
to this
fine
place
when it's
without
not
any
fine.
trouble.
We
He
don't
was
need to put
already
her in
getting
any
ready
sort
to
of
leave
awkward
by the
position.
time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yep, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route.
For him, though, swimming would probably be the fastest route of them all. I'm curious about that, though. Do they canonically go swimming in the water with all their fancy outfits? Everybody in Genshin Impact has such fancy outfits, including the characters in Fontaine, like Farina and Neuvillette and Navia. Do they all just go swimming in their... I mean, it's implied that their magical powers and visions, like, protect them from drowning and maybe even protect their clothing. But is it that practical to swim with all of this heavy clothing? Anyway.
So, were you the one that pointed him in the right direction, Hutel?
Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know. So naturally, I also have a great sense of direction.
That's good.
Speaking of your friend...
What about him?
He
Yeah,
doesn't
what about
get
him?
out much, does he?
No, he does not. He's always asking people to bring him water from other places because he doesn't get to travel very much. So I assume a little outing all the way out here was progress, I'd say, in terms of, you know, like I've said, busy life. I don't know how he manages all of it all at once. But I'm just glad to hear that he's also taking the time to take care of himself.
No wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
True.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
Yeah, demanding
I'm
is
sure
a
he
way
does.
to
You didn't see him, but he
does
was
not do
right.
it justice.
He was about to attend some
No pun
important
intended.
meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Were you not here?
Unfortunately, no. At the time,
I would have
it appeared
loved
as
to
if
see how
Director
that
Fu and
interaction
Miss
would
Farina
go
were having
between
quite the productive conversation.
Dragon
I know matters of
and
business
other
can take
dragon.
much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
I would have loved to see what happens when those two talk to each other.
Is that so?
What is that look that he just gave? Judging by how Zhongli is acting and taking into consideration Neuvillette's true identity, could Zhongli have been avoiding him on purpose? True, because the whole thing about, Neuvillette got all his powers back because Focalor gave it back to him, because technically the Archon, something about the Archons have the stolen power from the dragons. That would have been a super awkward thing. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, the two of them talking would be great, but indeed it'd be super awkward just knowing that the Archons have the stolen powers of the dragons and all of that, and he's a dragon whose power is unstolen. Awkward. Oh, I see. It is what it is. Truly a pity. I get it. I understand now.
To borrow Miss Farina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, with the traveler around, I'm sure you'll have a chance to get to know each other at some point.
That's
Maybe,
right.
maybe.
He's got more friends than he knows what to do with.
I have a certain charm about me. I'm good with people.
Well, that's certainly true. Oh, that reminds me. If you get the chance, you should try and talk to Neuvillette into loosening up a bit. Just tell him the Palais Mermonia isn't going to fall apart if he disappears for a few days.
Yeah.
He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while.
There's a treasure chest down there. I need it.
He's really that much of a stickler for protocol. He can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
That does make sense. Yeah, and I like to see that dynamic of, Neuvillette and Farina worked together for a very, very long time. But they also, even though Farina is gone, you know, Neuvillette made sure that, you know, she'd be okay, that she would have a place to live at least. And similarly, Farina's making sure, you know, Neuvillette is not super overworked now that he's technically doing her job as well. I don't really know what her job actually was before. But, you know, just, you know, taking care of each other because they've really been just stuck in each other's presence for 500 years. That does make sense.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important.
You could say that. He's the fair and impartial Eudex of Fontaine, head of the highest court in the land, otherwise known as the demon who controls all the paperwork in Fontaine. Ether, what does that mean?
Hey, sounds like a pretty uptight sort of guy, all right.
That's why it's great to see him taking a
A leader
vacation.
needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
The thing about Neuvillette is...
Correctly, he's already several thousands of years old.
True. Yeah, the thing with Neuvillette is he has... Oh, there's our friends over there! Navia and Clorinde!
Oh,
He has the stamina to keep going.
traveler, Miss Farina.
He's
He's
a dragon with all these, you know, powers stronger than the Archons. If he
Navia and Clorinde.
doesn't purposely take the breaks that he needs, he's just gonna say he can physically do it and just keep doing it because he physically can. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take mental breaks
We saw you
too.
all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in.
Sure, more the merrier, as I say.
Excuse the interruption.
Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the traveler and Miss Farina is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Ah, straight to the point. I like it.
Everyone circles around you and begins to introduce themselves. Yay! Who tells Light up when she hears about Cloran's profession? Why? Because there's a lot of dead people? But a quick explanation from Farina and Navia seems to dispel some of her more misguided ideas. I see. Oh, chatting and chatting until the sun goes down. So good.
If we want to catch
Having
a boat
fun
back
with
before dark, we
friends.
should probably get going.
Indeed.
I bet Yilang Wharf and Chaoying Village are actually
Yes?
very good vacation spots for people from
When are you
Fontaine.
planning to
So
head
easy to
back?
get to.
Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
Aw.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal
Yeah,
for
just as friends.
friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. I imagine they'll be even harder to navigate after dark. Exactly. Just like in those ghost stories. 8 paths converge in a wood. Beside them an old house is stood. If you dare to go inside, not a soul will greet your eye. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook. A candle flickers to and fro, yet there is no wind to make it so. What is its secret? What could it mean? In this wood, where mystery screams.
Ah. No, too scary.
Dear Demoiselle, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
Farina.
Gotta say, Farina, you are really quite the character. By the way, did I hear you mention that Clorinde used to work under you? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
There's no way you don't know
Well,
Farina.
that's, all in the past now.
You guys do read the newspaper, right?
Being a leader is hard. It wasn't the right job for me. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as I please, and get to enjoy the sweet taste of freedom.
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax. Chaoying Village is an exemplary choice.
Yeah. I mean, hang on. They should totally know who Farina is, because everybody, including ordinary people in Fontaine, know and loved her, and she was the quote-unquote Archon for a long time. I would assume that people would have at least heard her name in reference to her being a leader of a foreign country. Well, actually, it seems more like Hu Tao and Zhongli know everything, and they're just, or at least Zhongli, but probably Hu Tao as well, know everything, and they're just kind of playing dumb to make sure that she feels more comfortable. Well, have you all had a good time?
Only the best. And I've learned a lot, too.
That's
Thank
great.
you so much, Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You thanked us more than enough already. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Yummy.
Dim sum. Is that some kind of Liyue term for snacks or desserts?
They are a part of it.
There's
It's
some
basically a
savory
table full of as much
and
tea,
sweets,
sweets and good company.
but you would love it.
Oh,
I'm sure.
so it's basically a tea party.
Basically, yes.
Great.
In a
Make sure
in a
to
different
order
sort
the
of way,
winter
but also in a very
and
similar
Lawrence
sort of way.
flower
It kind of is.
And delicious Paimon knows you'll love them.
I mean,
Ooh,
just
okay.
a lot of different cultural
I'll be looking
differences,
forward
but
to it
in
then.
essence, just
Wait, but
coming
didn't you
together
guys
with
say you were here on vacation?
with others.
You're all going home empty-handed.
You're not bringing home any souvenirs?
Of course I am. I bought tons of fun things to bring home with me.
As expected.
Kite,
That's
a
good.
parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Oh, and a stuffed toy of a mythical beast.
Oh,
Poor
that's
Anne
so
is the one who
cool.
didn't buy anything for herself.
So
Well,
all you're bringing back with
She
you
she
is that tea?
values the tea and the
some favorite
memories.
Hard candies. They're for Sijuin.
Poor Anne isn't much of a shopaholic.
Honestly,
Well,
I
one
don't
of us has
shop
to
that much
practice
either, but I
restraint.
do like to get souvenirs when I'm on trips.
Hey, I'm hardly
Anyway.
reckless with my Mora. I'll have you know, all the purchases I made today were well within my budget.
What about you, Farina?
Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other
That's
than that,
good.
just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I get that. I
things
get
can
that.
use, I think.
Well, that's good. Oh, I hope you had a good vacation, Farina. You need a vacation, and I'm happy that you get one. So you fell for a few marketing traps then. Well, look. She hasn't had a vacation in a long time. Maybe not ever. So, why not splurge a little? Sure, you could say that she fell for some marketing traps, but you could also say that she made a lot of different purchases that now she can enjoy and treasure for the next little while as she embarks on a new stage of her life's journey.
Now Paimon's even more confused. If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packets?
Maybe.
Oh, actually.
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh.
Wait, what?
When?
Take them. He's not.
I mean, probably just to help her carry it, but like...
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon.
And how would Navia and
Monsieur
Cloran know
Neuvillette
about that?
just
Because
saw
they
the amount
didn't...
of bags we had and offered to take them back
Oh, so he was going on helping everybody carry their stuff?
for us. I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the fortress of Meripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word.
Maybe you guys need to get
He
some
says
of
he can do
Cloud
something,
Retainer's
then he means
floaty bags.
See,
I've
even
already forgotten what they're
Cloran
called.
was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed,
They were really
then
cool.
Who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight
Nah.
as I thought.
No, he's really
If
kind
only
and
the
nice.
funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him.
Well, hold on.
Right, Zhongli?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Said
Neuvillette's very
Neuvillette
thoughtful, it
offered to
seems.
deliver her gifts to Risley. So if we go to the entrance of the Fortress of Meripede, maybe we'll run into Neverlet.
Okay.
But we don't know exactly when he'll show up.
Oh, that reminds me. A new year of work is about to begin.
That's
If
right.
there's anything you want to talk about, Zhongli, you know you can come to me. I'm all ears.
Does the director have any concerns?
It just seemed like you were a bit preoccupied today, and much less talkative than usual. You barely said anything other than, "Is that so?" and "Indeed." If you ask me, I'd say you're having a midlife crisis. You're getting to be
You
around
think
that
so?
age after all.
Maybe he
that
is.
So?
Yeah, is that so?
I jest. Given its
Okay, yeah,
distance
he
from the
jest.
city, Chaoying Village enjoys a much slower pace of life. Surrounded by such peace and tranquility, I also seem to have developed a proclivity for inactivity. I apologize for making you worry.
It's okay. You know what? You all need a
I
vacation.
see.
You've all been
What do
working
you think,
super
Traveler?
hard this year.
Is this atmosphere putting you in a lazy mood too?
Out of sight, out of mind. Out of mind, out of sight. Different worlds should not collide.
Wow, you are getting really good at these kinds of lines.
Indeed.
Thanks. Yeah. I was gonna say, Zhongli did all the talking yesterday when he was giving, basically, this a nice conversation and chat with Gaming and his dad. So he's used his words for the next little while.
Things come to those who wait.
As much as I think I would like to see Zhongli and Neverlet chat, I'm realizing now, based on this conversation alone, that it would be pretty awkward. I like this kite over here. That's not kite, this is a lantern. Wow, fish-shaped lantern. Beautiful. It might be awkward. I am looking forward to the day when we see all the Archons meet because of something to do with Celestia or the Cataclysm. And when that happens, there will be no Hydro Archon. There will only be Neuvillette. In fact, I wonder what the story is going to be for the next time we see Dainsleif. Because I'm thinking we could be delving into more Abyss stuff, but we could also be dealing with the fact that now we have other characters in play, like Skirk and the Abyss, in that kind of vein, and also just, dealing with the fact that, hey, the seat of the Hydro Archon has been destroyed. Celestia is not going to be happy with that. They want 7 seats, now they only have 6. One of the dragons has their full power back. I'm sure they don't like it. And I'm sure that I just wonder, is that going to be something that we deal with soon, or is that something we have to wait another few years to see the outcome of? And also, it's been years since, I still want to know what the deal is that Zhongli made with the Saritsa to give his gnosis up. Man of mystery here. Definitely had a lot of wisdom to say, but, if he is intimidated or nervous to be around Neuvillette, then I'm curious. What else are you? What else? Not necessarily was he hiding, but kind of like. I'm just curious to see what happens with our Archon friends. Thankfully, Farina has escaped that whole, just everything to do with the Archons. I mean, she wasn't really involved to begin with, but now she's definitely not involved, and she can just go on a nice vacation, go shopping, do her work that makes her happy, all of these
Well,
things.
everyone, make sure that you've got all your belongings with you before we leave. If there's any souvenirs anyone still wants to buy, the time is now.
Reliable as ever, Miss President.
What is that supposed to mean?
Gloriand is right, though. You really are reliable.
It's not what she's saying, it's the way she's saying it.
I will say, I never thought you'd be so easygoing outside of work, Gloriand. The tone of voice you use when you're working doesn't exactly make you seem like the type who enjoys interacting with people.
Well, I try to keep my professional and private life separate. That includes my behavior.
You take care now, traveler. Paimon.
Don't worry. Your partner is very strong.
Trying to act cool now, are we? Well, I guess it's not an act for you, is it?
I guess not. I guess we are just that cool.
It's been great talking to you all. I'm really glad I decided to come to Chaoying Village. Maybe
Yes.
we could go on
I'm
another
glad
trip
too.
together sometime?
Yeah. Girls trip. That would be so much fun. Like I said, this good vacation spot, you know, it's not that far for them to go. And also with Farina and Zhongli. I mean, since we know that Zhongli and the other Archons have a lot of respect for Farina's role in averting the prophecy, then yeah, definitely knows way more than he's letting on, including the fact that he knows who she was, her role and everything, and that he has any sort of admiration for her. At least I think. I don't actually remember because I don't have Zhongli, but I did read all the Archon voice lines about Farina afterwards, after that Archon quest. And it sounded like they all were in consensus that she's pretty cool. Meanwhile, none of them have anything to say about Nivelette. Fancy that. That's the thing. So usually the Archons have lines about each other, right? As soon as Rite and Shogun became available and the Archon quest became available, she has lines about the other Archons. The other Archons had lines about her. They also had lines about Nahida too, but Nahida doesn't have lines about them because she doesn't remember. What am I doing here? Okay, maybe this is where I need to get a wanderer. Because she didn't remember, and the other Archons appear to be talking about. I mean, they thought they were talking about Nahida. We know they were probably actually talking about Rukkhadevata, who they now remember as Nahida. But only with Farina. Farina doesn't have lines about any of the Archons, probably because she's never met them and doesn't know anything about them. But the other Archons have lines about her and saying that she's super cool. The other Archons don't have anything to say about Neuvillette. I mean, what we just saw over in Chaoying Village, there might be a reason for that. Whereas Neuvillette has lines talking about how he's going to judge the Archons and has lines about each of them about things and stuff, except for Nahida, he thinks she's cool, or at least feels bad for what happened to her.
Look, it's Neuvillette! We left out!
So, interesting to see how that dynamic goes. This is what I'm getting at here. Hello there, Neuvillette.
Oh, it's you. It has been some time since our last meeting.
That it has.
Few
How are you
people
doing?
frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought I might take a walk and avail myself of this area's peace and quiet.
Well, it's us, so...
You always work this late, Neuvillette?
Yeah, it's the middle of the night,
Strictly speaking,
dude.
that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however.
And this is the thing,
So
it's like,
working
I don't
late
think
is
he
always
needs
difficult
sleep,
to me.
so I think he just works whenever it works for him.
Time I guess. Then why did you only go to Chaoying Village for half a day?
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my disposal on any given day.
Okay,
Second,
fair enough.
I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my trip to Chaoying Village.
Well, we ran into a ton of people, all of whom they said you helped them to carry
Thank
their
you
bags.
for informing me.
So did you deliver the gifts?
Yes, they have been safely delivered.
Awesome.
I have to hand it to Clorant. Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
Well,
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
All right. Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
okay.
A verbal receipt of confirmation? Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not.
Guess not.
This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
Well, that's just what happens when they're sold in
About that.
bulk.
Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Oh? Why? What happened?
Did you also buy tea in bulk?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that
So
explains
you
it then.
bought that, and then Clarand also.
Well,
Well,
go
she
ahead
didn't
and
buy
leave them to
10
me.
boxes.
I'll get through this stash
She said,
as fast
I would
as I can.
never fall for such a thing.
You have my thanks.
But it seems that Risley ended up with all the tea
There's
anyways.
something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
What symbol?
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
Oh?
A legal
And why?
codex, huh?
Why would you give him such a thing?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law
Oh.
was no different.
Oh, so it's like a historical
Oh.
item.
Okay.
So not just a
Since
book.
ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol instead of text.
Oh, I see.
During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts.
Oh.
We joked with Clarand some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So,
You did. That was right after the big explosion of that
So that's what this is
fountain
about.
of primordial seawater at the bottom of the Fortress
I
of
did not
Meripede.
expect you to remember it as well. In any case,
I remember.
I hope this can be considered as a
You're
reasonable attempt
betting
to join
on
in
how
on
many
the
people
venture.
Neuvillette was going to bring to help him, and the answer
is a very
was
good
none. No, but that's great that
suppose I
Neuvillette is
shouldn't be
trying to do
surprised.
some.
Even
He
your sense
actually
of
tried
humor
to do
centers
some
around the
art
law.
and
That's
crafts
an
while he
impressive
was
level of
away,
commitment.
which I think is a very healthy thing to try
A
out.
gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the fortress's showroom.
Yeah?
Surely there's no need for such a grand gesture.
Well,
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom.
yeah, I was going to say.
We do have
It's
a
going to go in
storage
his
room.
office.
We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sijuin has collected.
Well, that's not bad, because
That
I'm sure
sounds good to me.
Sijuin... Yeah, well, Sijuin will appreciate it very much.
So that's what you were doing in Chaoying Village.
That's awesome, dude.
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water.
I knew it.
The
I knew he was
aftertaste is
there
much
drinking
smoother
water.
than what I have delivered to me in Fontaine.
Talking about drinking tea.
It
No,
stands to
I know
reason that the
Neuvillette. He's
long-distance
there to drink the
transport has a
water.
tendency to imbue the
Fresh
water
spring
with
water
its
right from the
sweetness
mountain.
and
He's
If
there.
you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere.
I know, right? No one has to bottle it and serve it to you in a fancy wine glass. You could just go there and drink it, and it's all this natural stuff. Yeah, definitely go take the time to travel again. I like seeing you like this because I otherwise think you would otherwise I'd say you need a vacation. But thankfully you went out and you went on a vacation, and I don't need to tell you to do that. As they say in the a balance between work and play is sure to keep your troubles at bay. Do they say that? That sounds like a good
Then
saying.
we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
Yay!
If you say so, but you know you don't have to justify a vacation, right? You can just take one. After all, you're hardly
Having a good purpose
bereft
though
of time.
also
You
helps.
can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, the idea popped into my head and made itself quite at home. Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once.
And how was it?
Refreshing. My spontaneous outings seem to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted, but now I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
What the? Oh my gosh, is that like a dragon, like dinosaur ladle? Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I literally bought something like this for my friend for Christmas. I went to like Thinka or somewhere, and they had a whole bunch of these dinosaur ladles, and it looked just like this, and I got one for my friend. That's hilarious. Oh, thank you. But also, this is so cool that this is in the game. Thank you so much, Nebulat. Because I can tell you put a lot of love and care into this. Look how nice. Look. Wait, is this based on your own dragon form? Because we've never actually seen him in his own dragon form. Interesting. Oh, wow. What a big ladle. It's the coolest ladle I've ever received.
That's a ladle? Paimon thought it was supposed to be some long-necked sea creature.
That was indeed one of my inspirations.
It's amazing. The color also really matches your style.
Really? You like it?
I love it.
To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself quite unequipped to give you the welcome you deserve. Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is.
Aw, you want us to have that? That's so nice of you. No, it's actually amazing. I mean, I don't know how to make a ladle, so that's way better than anything I could do. And like I said, I actually bought something that looks just like that, all being a plastic version for somebody else. So, I mean, among other things as well. But you know what? It's really cool. Can I really keep this? You made it by hand and everything.
That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted.
Then I accept. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, that reminds me. You passed along the advice for Nebulat's vacation.
Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol.
Maybe we need other, levels of government. Other people in your, I guess, like, circle of operations who can take on the role of approving your leave of absence. Because that's really how, how you keep each other, in check. You're making sure... Well, you feel a lot better about it if you know that somebody else permitted you to do it.
But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does, in part, originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover.
I could have told you that. But he had to see it for himself. Oh, Ladle of the Leisurely Sea Beast. I love that. Where is it? Where is it? I will display this proudly in my home. For sure. Where would I find such a lovely creation? I have so many furnishings. I don't know what to do with them all. Oh, I love the Dodokoa so much. The kite. I gotta revamp my entire teapot one of these days because I have so many cute little things. A soup ladle gifted to you by Nebulat during Lantern Rite. Its creation by his own hand was a product of a spontaneous decision during his spontaneous outing and thus holds exceptional meaning. However, perhaps because the Eudex was on vacation at that time, this fantastical sea creature-inspired soup ladle gives us a sense of leisure. If this ladle is used to taste various waters, you might perhaps gain insights you would not normally. Interesting. Oh, I like that.
Lantern Rite marks the start of the new year in Liyue. In the spirit of the season, then, I wish you a year of success as vast and endless as the open ocean.
Oh, thank you. Great. All right. Well, it's great that we got to see Neuvillette again and some of our other Fontaine friends. Glad to see everybody had a vacation. Everybody got to enjoy the festivities of Lantern Rite, and that makes me really happy. I don't know if there's other Fontaine friends that are going to be here or not, but I'm really glad that we got to meet some of them here today. And yeah, I think that's a good place to end off this episode, this little epilogue. Just getting to check in on everybody. And of course, thank you so much, Neuvillette, for the wonderful soup ladle. We got the ladle, we have a kite, we got lots of other treasures, but most importantly, we've made new memories with new and old friends. And, you know, we got to help Gaming, we got to make a kite, we got to see everybody flying them out together, we got to see Cloud Retainer and Mooncarver and Mountain Shaper hanging out. We got to see a lot of things this Lantern Rite. And yeah, overall, great experience. Happy Lunar New Year, everybody. I hope that this is a good omen for things to come. So yeah, I will just leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.